So, Japan, huh?
What on earth are you doing here?
I mean, a simple hello would suffice.
How did you even get here? The door's locked.
Like everyone else, dude. I kayaked.
I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, I know. You didn't learn the language.
No,
I mean, if they came to the States, you'd expect them to speak English, right? So, like, lots of sushi and stuff. Do you eat that shin ramen stuff here, too?
Bro, that is not Japanese.
I'm not the one that pretends to know cultures.
Okonomiyaki is a great way to get a ton of Japanese flavors in one easy meal. It literally just means grilled however you like, so people make it their own way. There's no one right way to do it. It's super customizable, just throw together whatever you have and make a giant pancake out of it. And most recipes have the main base as cabbage, so I'm going to start by chopping up a good bit of that. I chop it pretty finely so it's bite-sized, and I end up with about 2 cups worth. Then I don't see a lot of recipes that use this, but I have carrots in the fridge, so I'm going to use those here. I'm just julienning those and getting a handful to combine with the cabbage. Chopping a couple of scallions as well and saving the greens for garnish as usual. And now to make the base of the pancake, I have about 75 grams or a half cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And then I'm pouring in 100 mils or a little less than half a cup of cold dashi. Now I'm not going to make anything from scratch in this recipe because it's supposed to be simple. You could make dashi stock from scratch, which I've done before, but I'm just going to use hon dashi here. A couple of teaspoons into this amount of water is good enough, and just stir that together. And once that's evenly combined, I'll add 1 egg and beat that in. Then I can start to fold in my veggies until they're evenly coated, and it's gonna be a pancake, so it should look like pancake batter with some veggies in it. And I almost forgot to add a little bit of red pickled ginger, which I have in the fridge. Mix that in. And now a lot of these recipes start by cooking some thin cut bacon or pork belly at the bottom. I'm not gonna go buy that, but I do have these slices of Spam in my freezer that are already cooked. I'm just slicing them even thinner to resemble a little bit like bacon. This doesn't have to have meat, but it packs a little bit more protein if you do it this way. I'm searing those on their own for a couple of minutes just to get them warmed through. And by the way, this is best done in a non-stick skillet. I have a 10-inch here. I'll add the pancake batter and evenly spread it, and then I'll cover it with a lid and cook over medium heat for several minutes. You could wait like 10 minutes before flipping this, but I'm going to come in at about 6 or 7 minutes and do it. Just want to see how it's progressing, and this is kind of hard to flip with a spatula because it's really big. An easy trick is to just slide this out on the overturned lid, then you can flip it back into the pan pretty hassle-free. And as you can see, there's a little bit of browning. It's going to need some more, but we can flip this multiple times. I'm cooking the second side for another 5 minutes and doing the same thing to flip it back. And you can repeat this process, flipping until you get your desired brownness on both sides. And that should be enough time to steam the veggies on the inside so everything is cooked through. Then I'll get that onto a plate and coat with some okonomiyaki sauce. I think you can buy this, I'm not sure, but you can make it with pantry staples easily. It's going to be a couple of tablespoons of ketchup, which I'm just using ketchup packets because I don't have any non-expired ketchup in my house. It's just not my favorite thing to eat, okay? Then about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, a couple of teaspoons of oyster sauce, and a small pinch of sugar, and mix together, and that's it. Spread that over your pancake, which will coat it in beautiful umami flavor. Lastly, we're going to give it a few stripes of mayo, specifically Kewpie mayo. You're not going to get the right size squeeze from any other bottle, but this is going to have the most superior flavor, and of course it's Japanese, so you need to use it. I don't have the prettiest or straightest stripes, but we can make it look a little better with a chopstick. Just run it back and forth across the lines in this pattern. This is what everybody does. Either way, we're about to coat it in some bonito flakes if you want to use those. I've used this to make dashi before, but a lot of people put it on their okonomiyaki. You can find it at your Asian market, and it's cool and kind of scary to see the flakes dance in the heat like that. But top with those scallion greens and a little bit more of that pickled ginger, and that's it. It looks like a lot of food, but most of that volume comes from the cabbage and whatever other veggies you used. This could easily serve 2 people though, and you can easily double the recipe and make 2 pancakes for a family. I don't know, simple comfort food like this is always the best. Let's get to the taste test.
This was a very much thrown together video and recipe, as you could probably tell from the footage style that I filmed this with. But I feel like that kind of fits the spirit of this dish. It's just whatever you like thrown together into a pancake. I of course am trying to follow my tradition. I am in Japan right now as you're watching this, so I wanted to make something really quick before I left to illustrate their cuisine, even though I've made tons of Japanese food already on this channel, but I need to dig into this. I'm starving. So a whole piece of Spam just came off, but that's kind of a good vessel to grab everything with. Cheers. That is very much umami, which is the flavor from Japan. I love the crispy outer edge and just the steamed, tender vegetables inside. It's really not that hard to do. You just throw together what you have in your fridge and in your kitchen. But I know this isn't really an American style of cooking, so a lot of people just aren't used to this process. I myself don't do it often, even though there's other types of pancakes in Korean and Chinese cultures, just like this for instance. But this was on my bucket list of foods to try while I am in Japan, so hopefully by this point I've tried it. But yeah, Japan's really been the #1 travel destination that I've always wanted to go to ever since I started internationally traveling. I'm glad it's finally happening. Of course, I haven't gone yet as of filming this video, but I hope I'm enjoying myself. You can probably see my journey on Instagram and then later through YouTube or TikTok when I upload stuff about it. But that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you all for watching. Be blessed, and I'll see you next time. With the Kewpie mayo though, I promise between the filming of this video and me leaving, I'll learn how to say bon appetit in Japanese.